team rap Jesus. My team go hard. My team rap Jesus. We about to go far. We about to go far.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for tuning into Fervently Creations. This is a place where we allow marketplace ministry to coexist with one another, where we're able to talk to individuals that are in ministry, but they're also in the marketplace. We are talking about combining what it is that they do, trying to figure out how are you actually showing the gospels outside of the four walls of the church. Listen, the Great Commission tells us to go therefore. We are to go out and not just constantly stay and minister amongst one another. And the best place to do that, the best area for us to do that is in the marketplace. And so I always like to bring guests on that are in business, are doing something to where they're able to reach out and tell exactly, hey, what are you doing? How are you actually showing that you love God in your actions? And sometimes, their business is not just tied directly to a nonprofit, or it's not just tied into something that is Christian related, but through their acts of service, through whatever they're doing, they're able to minister through that by showing loving kindness to one another. And what did the scriptures tell us? They tell us that loving kindness is how I draw them. So with us actually going outside of the four walls of the church, we are actually able to draw people through our loving kindness, through the way that we treat them, through the way that we intercede once we see that something is going on. And sometimes we have to remember, or not sometimes, all the time, we have to remember that is 5 gospels. Yes, I say it every show. It is 5 gospels. It's Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, and you. Sometimes the only one they will pay attention to, the only one that they're going to read, the only one that they're going to take account of is you. They're going to watch how you treat them, how you're treating others, how are you actually handling stress, how are you staying calm in situations where it seems like you are in the lion's den. They are actually paying attention to you. And so this is how we do marketplace ministry. We actually go for it, and we actually draw people through loving kindness, through our actions. And so that is basically what we do here at Fervently Creations. With that being said, I like to start off, as we always do, with a Bible verse. Speaking of showing people love and kindness, how are you serving? Look, Matthew 20:28, it says, "For even the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve others and to give his life as a ransom for many." We have to remember that we did not come to be served. And sometimes we get in certain positions, sometimes we get certain titles, and we're looking to always have someone to serve us. We're like, well, who's going to be my armor bearer? Who's going to be this, that, and the other? But how are you going to serve? How are you going to say, hey, where can I serve at? I understand that I may be Dr. So-and-so. I understand that I may be apostle so-and-so or prophetess so-and-so. I understand that I'm pastor or bishop or whoever, but how can I serve? Do you have someone covering this? Who's actually bringing the speaker water? Who is actually ushering? Do you have enough people ushering? Do you have an intercessory prayer team? Do you need me to help you for this interceding for this event that you have going on? Who is covering you, man of God? How can I help you? How can I serve you? How is it that I'm able to be of service to you so you can do the assignment that God has you on in this particular moment, in this particular hour, to the best of your ability, and not stress about certain things? Do you need someone to do X, Y, and Z? I know how to do graphics. Do you need someone to do your graphics? Whatever service that you have, and are you able to do that for them? So a lot of times we are constantly looking for someone to serve us, and I want us to always to remember to remain humble, because again, let's go back. It says, for even the Son of Man, this is Jesus. They're talking about Jesus. So even Jesus did not come to be served, but he came to serve others, right? He came to be one to serve and to wash feet. He came to serve others. Are you serving, or have you gotten so high and mighty? That's the word. Have you gotten so high and mighty to where you do not know how to serve someone else, that you don't know how to sit back and come out of the limelight for a minute and say, how can I serve? Do you have someone doing X, Y, and Z? And so that is where I want us to think about today. Are you being a service to others? You see someone that is sick or someone is down, member of your church or whatever. Hey, I'm in your area. I'm in your neighborhood. Have you eaten today? You know, knowing that someone don't have a vehicle. I have to go to the grocery store. Do you need to catch a ride to the grocery store today? Have you went grocery shopping? Or so I know you don't have a vehicle, but I got to go to the grocery store anyway. Do you need a ride? Those are ways we could serve people, right? Where you looking and you said, you know what, I gotta throw away these clothes, or for some reason I can't fit them, or whether they got too small, whether they got too big, whichever one it is, right? And you know someone may need it, whether you're taking it to a homeless shelter, whether you're taking it to a women's shelter, a men's shelter, whether you're taking it wherever. Do you know someone that may need something? Can you serve them in that way? Right? I have a lady that stays next to me, older lady, and sometimes I cook food and my kids just don't eat. My kids are picky eaters for one, or I have a habit of cooking way too much food. Knowing that this is an elderly lady and a lot of times she does not feel like cooking, I'll just give her the extra food. Like, hey, I cook too much or whatever, here, I'm gonna take this food next door to Miss Jean. Why? It's serving. It's serving. So how are you serving? I want you to just kind of evaluate and just see where's ways that I can serve others in time, whether it our give or whatever. So with that being said, I want to bring our guest up today. There we go. Hey, how are you doing?
Hey, woman of God, how are you?
I am awesome. I'm awesome.
Good.
Please introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. I am Ambassador Cenena. I am an author. I am a CEO. I am also a speaker, as well as a visionary. I'm from this little town in Mississippi. I have two sons, which are twins, and a daughter. My 9 to 5, I am a PCA, so that's a personal care attendant. So I care for those that can't care for themselves, which is what we're talking about today, serving. And so, yes, I am a preacher, a pastor, a teacher. I'm also in the marketplace, and anything else, the information will be here after the show, and you can find out anything else about me.
Awesome. So what do you say about this verse, about Matthew 20:28?
Oh, wow. When I read that, it says, for even Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve others and give his life as a ransom to many. So he came as a servant. And how did he come as a servant? When he said, I come not to be served, but I come to serve. So he come to serve you and I. How? By giving his life, by dying on the cross. He said, I come to give you an abundant life. I come to give you a new life. I come to give you grace, mercy, all those things that you don't think that you deserve. I come to give you that. When I went to the cross, that's what I think about when I read this. He gave his life as a ransom to many, not only to just those that believe, to those that don't believe, not only to those that are rich, but to those that are poor, not only to those that, don't think they worthy of it, because sometimes we don't think we are worthy of what Jesus did for us. So he became a servant by giving his life.
And one thing that I love once I think about the fact that he gave his life for me, he gave his life for me before I even committed the sins. Like he already knew all the mistakes that I was going to make. He already knew that I was going to stray, and he still chose before I was even born, because I take that thing personal. He gave his life as a ransom for many. I consider myself part of many, you know, and as you were saying, the saved and the unsaved. So I consider myself part of that. And it's just like, he did this years ago, way before.
Yes.
Why? Because he foreknew me, because I was a spirit first before I came down into my mother's womb. So he knew me before I was in my mother's womb. And even then he decided, I'm going to sacrifice my life for her. She's worth it.
It was predestined.
Predestined.
It was predestined that he, like you said, he knew every mistake that we made, every choice that I made, because I made some choices. Like I tell my testimony all the time, and he knew that I was going to be a lesbian. He knew I was going to be an alcoholic. He knew I was going to love to go to the club. He knew I was going to have the baby out of wedlock. He knew all that because he sees, you know, things that we don't see. He's that kind of God. So he knew that. But what makes us great, because a lot of us want to be great, is being a servant. That's what made Jesus great. Because he said, I'm going to obey the Father. I'm going to obey the Father, and I'm going to go to the cross. I'm going to give up my life, and I'm going to leave the comforter for each and every one of you when I go on to be with the Father.
Amen. You mentioned something just then that I want to touch on. Y'all know I just flow, right? And so you mentioned something that a lot of people are like, oh, you know, homosexuality is coming out, this, that, and other. But they forget about us that are coming out and saying, this is something he delivered me from. I used to be one of them too. And the way that y'all are coming at them, y'all not fixing to draw them. You're not fixing the way some people are handling them and stuff. It's just like,
yes,
I think we forget that he died for them too. Right. And though he died for them, that if we actually show them love and kindness, we can help draw them out. But a lot of people actually show disdain for them, or I don't know the exact word I'm trying to use, but you know, they detest it, and it's cringing for them just to see it. And it's just like, show them love and kindness, and he will actually begin to draw them out. It's the same way I feel about once you have some of the older women talking about the younger women that come up in the church and how they dress. Show them love and kindness, and eventually the skirts will get longer. Now, I'm not fixing to say we fixing to put on stockings, because I do not like stockings. I'm being honest. That's just me. And I feel like that's just personal preference thing. But the skirts do get longer. You know, the dresses and stuff will get a little bit looser, not so tight fitting, but some of us, we're shaped like that, you know? And so, but still, like, I feel like if we actually show them love and kindness, they will understand that you can actually draw them out of it by the way you treat them. But if you're wrong and throwing the Bible at them, the thing is, we throw the Bible so hard at people in the LGBT QT. I don't know what all the letters are.
A few more after that. Yeah.
The whole alphabets, right?
Yeah.
so, and I don't mean that disrespectful. I just don't know. I don't know what all the stuff it just.
I don't either. I got after that T, that was it.
That was it. Plus, right? And so we forget that if we actually show them love and kindness, they will actually begin to transform out of it.
Yes.
So that we allow the door to open for God to move.
Yes.
For me, I had people that came at me, oh, you should be this, that, and another. And my thing is, first of all, let's get to the root of where it came from. For me, it was by the age of 18, I had been molested by 5 different people. Not 5 times, by 5 different people, and gang raped twice. There was nothing that I wanted a man to do for me. I felt like the people that had hurt me the most were men. My dad had disowned me or so because I came about through an affair or whatever. And so at this point, it's just like, it's nothing that a man can do for me but hurt me.
Right.
I don't want a man. And so some people do not even understand. They prejudge. And I'm not saying that's the story for everyone. But it's a lot of people that go into that lifestyle due to trauma.
Yes.
Due to trauma. they're either molested by the same sex, or they're molested by and choose that because that's their first encounter with sex is same sex. That's
Yes.
how it was first introduced to them. Or you have some that go into that lifestyle because it because of trauma of some sort, and for some reason they decide to detest men or to hate men or hate the opposite sex, and say I'd rather be with the same sex because this person hurt me so, and I trusted them. And so so you had mentioned that. Do you mind sharing that testimony with us on today?
Oh God, yeah. See, when you said trauma, I don't know if abuse is trauma, like physical abuse. But I always say it like this. I think it came about because I was in a vulnerable place, meaning I was in a weak place because I had just come out of an abusive marriage.
Yep.
And at that time, it was me and a couple other girls. And I had started doing the stud, if y'all know what that is.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna be real, the man of the relationship's hair. I had started because she had short hair and I was curling her hair. So this is how it really all started, and that's how the door really opened. And so after I finished doing the hair, we hang out or whatever. And we're sitting there just talking one day. We're having a conversation. And she had hit on me, and I'm like, no, ma'am. Yeah, no, ma'am. I don't go that route or whatever. And all these girls that was there, because it's like 3 of us, 4, including me, and the young girls was younger than I was. And they was like, oh, you'll like it and all this. And then they was like, don't knock it till you try it. And I'm like, so you girls, which are 16 and 15 at the time, I think, or 16, 17. I said, you guys have tried it? And they was like, yeah. I'm like, oh my God. So somebody's lied to me because I had heard that my, she was kind of like a daughter to me, but she wasn't. So I heard she had dibbled and dabbled in it, and she told me that she had. So I said, you asked? She said, yeah, because I didn't know how you was going to act, how you was going to treat me, if you was going to get mad. No, I wouldn't get mad. I'm going to love you regardless, but you could have been honest. So that is how that door opened. And at that time, I really still didn't know that I had those feelings because I don't think I had ever had it, to be honest. And the next day or two, I started to look at this woman, the same sex, in a different way. And I was like, oh God, what's wrong with me? Because you immediately start beating yourself up, thinking something is wrong with me because I like the same sex. Now, if you like the same sex and you don't think that way, toodles. And I'm clapping my hands for you because you don't have those thoughts. But for me, it was like, what in the world is going on? Why do you see her that way? Because it was a little crack, it was that little door, and then the thoughts began to come in my head. And so from there on, we continued to hang out. At that time, playing cards, because I really, I had gave my life to Christ then, but I wasn't like dedicated, serving in the church, all those things, singing in the choir because that's what I do, but I wasn't doing anything else. And so that door opened, and bam, there you go. And when I got in it, I liked it. I ain't gonna tell you no story. Once I got in it, I was in it. I was like, oh, I like this better because one thing we have it's almost like you have a bun. It's almost like you have a relationship, and you're really close, and you get along, and but some of them I did have to fight
because most men. Let's be honest, women. Most men, and we're not advocating for it, but one thing that keeps some women in it is because some men don't know how to be open in conversation, right?
Yes.
And so for me, as someone that had been molested, it was different to be in a relationship with somebody that knew how to have conversation, like communication, and talk about things, and then we were still able to do whatever. And I was more of a STEM in it. So that was for people like, what is a STEM? A STEM, that was like the stud and the female at the same time, because I was military too. And so so I was that STEM in the relationship. And it was a thing to where with my door opening, because I used to be a stripper. stripper and also doing prostitution. So we used to have things to where we would do a girl on girl show. And for the girl on girl show, there was this one lesbian that would come in, and the only way they could get her to dance if we was one girl short was if she could be able to, because she had a crush on me, if she could be able to do the girl on girl show with me. So that was the door opener. The trauma was there, and I used to battle with the thoughts, but at this time I was just like, okay, whatever. Like, hey, we just need to go here and get this money. So whatever, that's what it takes. And so that was eventually my door opening to it because of that. Like, so that was I can't even say it was a seed. They just planted a whole bush there. Like, boom, hey, you gonna do this, and and so eventually it was just at first it was very uncomfortable, and after that it was just like, okay, it's not that bad. Like, okay,
right, I can deal with this. Yeah,
I can deal with this, whatever. And so, but it is something that, like I said, like a lot of times you hear it talk about in that way. Like for my conference, I got Sophia Ruffin coming. Sophia Ruffin is also very open about her deliverance. With a matter of fact, just got married to a man.
What you said? Come to God.
And so I love now that it's more people that are coming out and saying, yeah, that was something he delivered me from, right? And then I have a couple friends that have been delivered from it from the opposite standpoints of it, from the male perspective, but because let's see how to word this. Because this person have always thought that this person's story was different than what ours was. This person thought he was born that way.
Yes, most men do think they were born that way.
Right. So I have two individuals that think they was born that way. One man, he still has more of his bass in his voice, but the other one, his voice is like high, like his pitch is higher than what mine is. And so some people will hear this person talking, they automatically assume that he's still walking in that lifestyle, but this has always been his voice. Right. And so, it's just like, oh, well, he's still dibbling dabbling. He might have residue, but I doubt that he's dibbling and dabbling, because he's just as open about it as how we are. Like, hey, that's just something that God delivered me from, and this is the lie that I believe from the enemy, that I was born this way, and this, that, and another. But a lot of times people prejudge people just from the outside.
Say that. And that's the thing. We should be allowed to share our testimony without all of a sudden you thinking that we may be still dibbling dabbling in it. Just say me and Sophia Ruffin start hanging out, which is possible one day, and they know we both were.
Come on to the conference.
I'm trying, girl. I'm trying. And they know we both dabbled in that. They would, rumors were started and things like that. And, it should not be like that. You shouldn't prejudge, and you shouldn't think. Like, I haven't been in, I think it's been over 10 years for her, and it's been over 10 years for me. So, I mean, we know that we're not going back. She, she's married now. I'm not, but still, I have a made up mind that God brought me out of this, and he brought me out of it before I can share it like I am now.
Yeah.
So I can tell my story and my testimony, and you have a powerful testimony too, Prophetess Tish. It's very powerful. And so God wants us to share it, because that's going to help somebody else.
It is. And I truly feel like the more of us that start actually speaking on it as it's coming a rise in mainstream, you're seeing it to be more normalized. I believe as more of us begin to speak on and say, this is something that he did deliver me from, then we're able to open the door for other people to get delivered. But it's a lot of people that won't share this part of their testimony. We like to share the cute testimonies, and he delivered me from an abusive relationship, and he delivered me from rejection, and he delivered me from alcohol. We might talk about weed, but they ain't gonna talk about crack like as much, and so like I love once we do full transparency, because we do truly overcome by the testimonies of others. And one of the things that I had said was, like, the way that I overcame coming out, once I was saying I was stripping and stuff, I had an aunt, and she was just like, hey, Tisha May, what you doing? This time the whole family knew what I was doing. So I was just like, it's no point of telling a story. I've already been called everything but my government name and a child of God. So like about a family, right? And so
Right.
but my aunt, she said, well, girl, I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt, da 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 da. And she, started talking. She said, you're better than me. She said, I walked that path so you don't have to. She said, I want you to go ahead and do this last show and let this be your last one. I did one more show. I did that show that night. I went and got my money. And then I did one more show. But because of her testimony and what she said, my mind shifted mainly because she said I was better than that.
Yes.
And she had already walked that path, so I didn't have to. So her testimony is what shifted me to where I stopped stripping. I stopped selling my body for sex and stuff. It was that testimony that did it for me. And so a lot of people do not realize how powerful your transparency is, and that it's some testimonies to where I tell people, I was like, I'm not sure if some people will want me in their pulpit, because I'm gonna be transparent and I'm gonna be raw.
Me too.
And I have to be, because there's some little girl out there. It's a younger Tish out there.
Yes.
It's a younger you out there, right? I got an 18-year-old. Like I have my daughter needs. It's nothing no one can tell my child, neither one of my children, that I have done wrong that they don't know about.
That's right.
Because I feel like my testimony can stop them from doing some things and walking down certain paths that I did. If they know mama did this,
right?
Mama already been there. Mama has used alcohol to deal with pain. Mama has used sex to deal with pain. Mama has used drugs to deal with pain. Like if we actually truly be honest. So I love the fact that you open up with that and just saying your test. So thank you for sharing your testimony.
You're so welcome. But your auntie, she said something that was so powerful. It's pretty much us saying, look, I came out of it, or I went through it, so you don't have to go through it. So also that you can know that you can come out of it. Because I know a lot of lesbian homosexuals that think, I ain't gonna never come out of this. Yeah. I've been feeling this way for years. I am fighting, and it seems like it's a battle I cannot win. But I promise you, it's a battle you can win. You can come out of it, and you can stay out of it. I promise you can. Because if I can do it for 10 years, and I liked it. Yeah. When I was in it, I enjoyed it. So if I can come out of it, if God can bring me out of it and give me the strength to not think about it, to not go back in it, He can do the same thing for you.
Exactly.
He can do the same thing.
And it's like somewhere in there, your mind just shifts. Your desire for it does not. And then let me tell you, once I came out of it, let me tell you about condemnation, right? I'm gonna tell you how the enemy will condemn you.
Make you feel so guilty.
Remind you, I'm still in the military once I come out of it. So with certain times where we have to be in the showers late at night, or where we're in showers, and like once we was deployed and stuff, and I'm married and everything, but once I would go to the shower, I would try to go at times to where it was late at night, because I felt like I didn't want nobody thinking that I was looking at them or whatever, or, and so I had to get over that, because first of all, they didn't even know.
Right.
That was just the whispering that the enemy was doing in my ear to try to keep me still bound to that. And another way,
he's good at making you feel guilty. He's very good at that.
Yeah, another way is just like if you see a female, you're like, you know what, hey, you look nice. Learning to compliment other females. And so now I learned to do it more, and I'm okay with it. Say, you know, hey, you're very pretty. Like, your makeup looks very nice. Where did you get those jeans from? Like, girl, you rocking that outfit. I'm learning to do that, and I do it now intentionally to show that you have no control over me in that, because I know what I am free from, because whom the Son says free is free indeed, baby. And I know that I am free indeed from it. So I can go and compliment another female and be okay with it and not feel no condemnation about it.
Right.
But for a while, even after coming out of it, the enemy tried to play with my mind And I mean, years afterwards, he tried to play with my mind and make me feel condemned and thinking that somebody might think that I'm looking at him or somebody might, I don't know. So yeah,
Yeah.
so that was another thing that I had to deal with coming out of it.
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
Okay, so you also have heart for you cleaning service. Let's talk about
Yes. Heart. Okay. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, let's talk about that because I know we probably got everybody on the edge. Like, how did they get this?
Maybe you don't never know
Y'all
how the
y'all ain't
Lord
ready
gonna
for this
move.
one. Y'all ain't ready for this. Look, we being nice because y'all here.
Yes. But
So
yes,
tell
I
us, how did
do.
you get into the Heart for You cleaning service? Where did
It's
that
a
come?
fairly new cleaning business. I was actually supposed to start in 2019, but sometimes we can be hard-headed, stubborn, looking for help, wondering how we're going to do this, how we're going to do that. I don't have the money, a whole lot of excuses. But I finally launched it out last year, the end of last year. And it's just a cleaning service. And the Lord just said, you have a heart for this. And I had the name already, Heart for You Cleaning Service. And I said, wow, that's amazing how the Lord speaks through to you. And then he'll confirm through a prophet that this is why you were supposed to go ahead and start this cleaning business. I'm like, no, they didn't even know I was supposed to be doing that. But yes, it's just a business that goes in and clean. I go in and I clean from the heart. Everything I
Oh,
do, I try to
I
do
wish you
from
was
the heart.
local.
Yes.
I wish you was near me. I wish you was.
I know. Where are you?
I'm in Alabama.
Oh, we're about 2 hours away then. What part of Alabama?
I'm actually closer to Georgia than I am.
Oh, so you're
So
probably
I'm
about
like
3 hours
I'm even
away.
on Eastern Standard Time
Oh
because I'm
God,
down
yeah.
by Columbus, Georgia, and stuff. And I stay in a country part of Alabama, so I you don't have to tell
You
people.
in Jasper and Anderson somewhere in there?
Well, I'm originally from Huntsville, Alabama, up that way
Okay,
by
which I think is
Jasper and
almost two
Anniston.
hours away too. Okay,
Yeah, but
wow.
I'm originally from Huntsville, Alabama, and my husband and my kids were born in Birmingham, Alabama.
Okay, well we're neighbors, honey, because
I
like
know.
about an hour I'm in Alabama from where I'm at. I'm in Fulton, Mississippi. About
Yeah.
about 45 minutes to an hour. I'm in Alabama, some part of
Wow.
Alabama. Probably 30 minutes. I'm in some part of Alabama.
There's some parts of it. So
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
with the cleaning thing, one thing, the reason why I brought that up first, I remember once I was going through with some health challenges, and it was some days where I could not walk, I could not see. I went through like, in order for God to get me to who y'all see today, I had to go through in my body, right? He truly had to sit me down. He had to lay me down. He couldn't sit me down. He had to lay me down. Like, wait a
Lord,
minute.
don't lay me down. Jesus, don't lay me down.
He had to lay me down. Like, you know what? I'm not even, I need to lay her all the way out. And so,
Okay.
but it was times to where, once you're sitting in one spot and you cannot do, then it seemed like everything irritates you. Like, this needs to be cleaned and that needs to be cleaned. Or it'd be times to where I want to deep clean my house, and I could only do one room at a time, because if not, then my whole body was shut down if I tried to do more. And so I would have to kind of space out. But for me, because I don't have a heart for it, who wants to be cleaning every day all day?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like, to me, I feel like this is awesome, that it is an amazing way to serve, because you never know the situation on why someone actually need this service. That's one reason why I
That's
picked
good.
the Bible verse or so, because you do not know what the situation is or what piece. Like right now, I would love to have someone come clean. Why? Because my hands is tied and doing everything, and I would like for my house to be deep clean and not straighten up. Man, y'all don't understand. That's a difference between deep cleaning it and straightening up.
Yeah.
Like,
And just even just maintaining it is a whole lot of difference between that. Yeah. But you are so right.
yep. Because
I
sometimes
mean,
I be looking, I'm like, I need these baseboards clean. I need,
mhm.
and it be stuff that irritates you. Like, I ain't pulled that refrigerator out in a while and clean
Yes, and the
behind there.
stove.
I need to clean
Oh,
behind the stove. And so
yes.
it's certain things to where once you have a busy schedule, I have a friend that lives a couple doors down, and that was one thing that her husband said that he was going to do for her, because she's one of those ones that works several jobs. She just works several jobs, right? And so, but she's busy and always working, and so she does not have time to clean or deep clean the house like that. And he said to help her out, that was what he was going to do for her. And she was so excited about that. You would have thought that he had just promised to buy her like a new car or something like that. And so, like, but like, you do not, well, I'm pretty sure you do understand the peace.
I was just fixing to say that. That's why she was so excited, because a clean, spotless house that smells good and been sanitized and deodorized and all that, it brings so much peace to you, so much joy. You feel so much, even if you were sick, when you look at your house, and that helps with some of the sickness, because if you don't feel well and you come in, you have somebody to deep clean, sanitize your home and deodorize it, all those things, you get to feeling better.
Yep. Your house sleeps so much better.
Yes, it's so much peace.
Your house sleeps so much better with a deep clean house. And I know that's something that I need to do soon. But I wish I had that husband that would be like, no, it's just,
You just relax. I got it.
Someone to come in and do it. Like, no, we're not. Like,
yeah, because if you do it yourself, when your schedule is full, it's going to be like you said. You have to do one area at a time. Because the stove can take you a while itself. The fridge, if you do inside out, under, behind, all of that, it can take you a couple hours.
Yep. And then too, because I'm one of those ones. I want the cabinets wiped down. I got teenage. Mm-hmm. I got a teenage son. Like, I need my cabinets and stuff wiped down.
Yeah.
Like the cabinet doors. Like, and so once I deep clean, it can take me all day, unless it does not bother me now if I got my music blasting and I'm praying. That is, I realize that I get more done in cleaning with praying. And so one reason why I have been hesitant of actually just saying, you know what, I'll pay for somebody to clean myself, is because I actually want to know that I have someone that is, I'm real particular now about who I allow in and out my house.
Space, yes.
And so I look and it's like, I'd rather have someone that I know that has that type of spirit, because I sit and listen to, during the daytime, nobody's here. I tell you, I listen to gospel all day. My TV doesn't come on. I sit and I do that. So it's just like, hey, if they don't mind praise and worshiping with me, we good. Like, we good. So that is one thing that I do like of just cleaning, is just being able to take that time and actually touch, lay hands, and pray over my house.
Yes, we all need to do that. I do that every now and then, maybe twice a year, something like that. Just pray over,
So
pray over the rooms.
So physical cleaning, let's talk about the importance of a spiritual cleansing.
That's what I was thinking about when you said you clean and listen to music. I was saying you were having both at the same time, kind of like a spiritual and a natural cleaning.
Yep. Yeah. And I think it's very important for us to spiritually cleanse our house, especially once you have kids and, I would say not even just with kids, but definitely with kids, it's good to be able to just say, you know what, I truly need to go through and spiritually cleanse this house. And so as I'm cleaning up in the natural, and that motivates me to actually clean in the natural, just saying I need to clean spiritually. And so I could just go through praying in the spirit, praying in tongues, and cleaning the house. There's no one in here. My music's blasting. And to me, I feel like, okay, we're going to sleep real good tonight, because I done got some stuff up out of here. I done got some dust and some demons up out.
Yeah.
Dust demons.
And I get to pleading the blood and putting the The
oil.
oil, yeah, over the doors, each door, because you really don't know. You think you know your kids, but you don't know what they doing in them, watching in the room or listening to. You know what I'm saying? And so you got to go and kind of bleed the blood and pray over everything. So yeah, I do that pretty often. I think we probably need to do it every 3 months or something, every quarter or something, as well as for ourselves. We need to do a spiritual
Cleanse of us.
maintenance, yes, on ourselves every 3 months or every 4 months, every quarter, to see where am I at spiritually,
Yep.
because we can get spiritually depleted.
We can. And I think too, especially with those of us in ministry, we forget that we need to go through, I would say that we need to go through deliverance. Right?
Yes, that's
We're
good.
we're so quick to go and say, I'm trying to set this person free, and I'm trying to
Right.
and we're so quick to, and it tells us not to be quick to do it, but we're so quick to lay hands, or we're carrying other people's baggage or things that's going on with them, moving it in that way. And we forget the way I look at demons. I look at them sometimes like I look at COVID, like, wait a minute now. Right? And so, but we forget that we too need to spiritually cleanse.
Yes.
We need to, and once in doing that, what it looks like is sometimes it is through deliverance. Another thing that I like to do, and I think I'm gonna do it tonight, since we talking about it. You know how you go to like on YouTube and they have the Bible meditations and different ones. And so they do have some that just read Psalm 91.
Yes, I've heard that one. I've let it play a time or two.
Yeah. And so I think the TV downstairs, let me just allow Psalms 91 to just play all night through the house.
That's
Or
good.
they have ones that have house cleansing prayers. Let me let that stuff go through and cleanse the house, even while we're asleep in the night hours. Once it's not that awareness and stuff, once everybody is calm and can't nobody fight against the prayers and the things that is going through in the natural. So I think that's what we're doing tonight.
Yes, I'm gonna find that house cleansing prayer and let it just, while I'm in here, the kids gone because my daughter's moving out this weekend. Hallelujah. Her and my grandbaby, and then she's fixing to have another one. So that's two. She needs her own place.
Yes.
And so when she moves out, I'm gonna do that house cleansing, and I'm gonna do it over her home too. I told her to remind me to do it because she's moving in a place that it's not as bad as it used to be, but it's not as good as I would like for it to be. So I want to pray. I don't know who stayed there before her either, So I want to pray over that. Sure did. I sure did tell her that. I said, I'm going to pray before you move in here.
Yeah. Yeah. So you also mentioned that you are an author. Can you tell us about your book?
Oh God, I have a 30-day daily prophetic word, 30 days of declarations. Awesome. Now, I'm the author of that, and I'm the co-author of From Poverty to the Promise. Now, I am co-author of that with Dr. Shanika Stewart. You know her, I'm sure. It's 21 authors, and I have a little part, pretty much share my story in there. And those are the two books that I've written so far, and I'm working on another one with Dr. Deborah Allen.
I'm in that book with you.
You are awesome, girl.
Once you said that, because when you said that book, when you said co-author, I was like, wait a minute. I remember helping with the flyer, and I remember seeing your picture. So yes, ma'am. I will actually be in. I still have to write my chapter. I said I was going to get it written today. Yeah, so.
I'm still working on mine. So I'm probably gonna call her and say, "Hey, I need a little help." But yeah, I am excited about this. I really am. So are you gonna be in St. Louis?
That weekend is my daughter's senior prom.
Oh yeah, I think I remember you saying that.
Yeah, that weekend is my daughter's senior prom is April 15th, I believe. And so
we'll get to meet someday, somewhere.
And so then I'll be in Kansas. I'll be in that area the next weekend after. So I'll probably get a chance to see her there. But I've seen actual Apostle Deborah Allen speak in Atlanta, Georgia before. And I mean, she tore it up. And so, but she's also one of the coaches, not coaches. She's the speaker, but also an honoree for my conference as well.
Oh yeah, sure is. She sure is.
And so, she's my coach.
So yeah, I'm definitely gonna try to make that. But this book is really good. It's some good stories in here. If you do want, my story is good, but I've read a couple other ones that is so good.
From poverty to purpose.
From poverty to the promise.
Oh, from poverty to the promise.
And it's some testimonies in there, like some people have been molested, how people are, even in their wealthy place right now. I talk about my testimony about being with the same sex and all that. So it is beautiful. So if you want to order that, you definitely can get in touch with me. It's worth it. It really is. It's $25. So
I will. Yes. Look, I will support it because I love supporting the anthology. I love anthologies. I feel like with anthologies that once you actually get a collective people going in and telling their story, that means you're able to reach more because it may not be my story. It might be your story that reached them. Yeah. And though we have some similarities in our story, but it might be something that you say or how you say that they need it. So once you have a collaboration of different authors and everyone is coming in and they're speaking, they're talking, something in there out of all those chapters, at least one of those people is going to reach whoever picked that book up.
Amen. I agree.
And I think anthologies is a great evangelistic tool.
I agree 100%.
Great. So what is up next for you?
What is up next for me? I believe the Lord has put a youth ministry in my heart actually years ago. But I think that is the season he has me in now is to go ahead and launch that youth ministry. It's just for girls, not boys, but I think that's what's next. And as well as being a part of this book, this anthology we've just talking about, and you never know what else.
That's awesome. Tell everyone how can they reach you, how they're able to get connected with you, and how can they order the book.
Okay. Well, you can connect with me on Facebook at Cenena, His Servant Lowe. That's Cenena, His Servant Lowe. And then I do have a second page at Cenena Lowe, as well as Instagram. You can reach me at woman.of.youth. That's my ministry page. And my business page for Instagram is Heart for You Cleaning Services LLC. So those are ways that you can get in touch with me.
That is awesome. I thank you so much for just coming
on. You're so welcome. Thank you.
And I truly enjoyed the show. Did you enjoy it? Was it?
Yes. It was. Once we got to talk about, my testimony and the story, and then you could relate. That's even more powerful for somebody to say, "Oh, God brought me out of that too, girl."
You know what? We might need to come up with an anthology and see who is all willing to tell their testimony.
Yes,
coming out of sexual immorality.
Man, that would be good. Oh God, that would help a lot of people, I believe. Yes. That would be good. Let's talk about that when you get a chance.
I think we should. We can be co-visionaries.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? Hey, just coming out of I don't know what to name it, but hey,
it'll come. It'll come if
it's gonna come one day, and I'm like, let me text her.
Right. Because that's how it be. You'll be doing something, and then God will just speak, and you be like, there you go. Let me write it down or text it. Because that's how he does me. It just be coming out of nowhere, and you're like, okay, God, where'd that come from? He said, this is what I need you to do. And I'm hard-headed, so pray for me.
Yes. I'm not gonna say I'm hard-headed all the time, but I do think I have a lot of Gideon experiences. Like, God, was that really you? Like, did you really
that's what That's
You
me.
said they make the light blink like 2 times right now.
Yes, it's like, oh, okay, is this me or is this you? Yeah,
Like
definitely
something
can
could have came
relate.
on and shorted it. Make the dog bark. Like
Yeah. So
True
true.
Gideon. True Gideon. So
Yes.
I truly thank you.
Thank you. Enjoyed it.
What would you like to leave us with? If you could leave us with any words of wisdom.
Ooh. And in closing, I just want to say it's a lot of, seem like people are losing hope. Like, it's a murderous spirit going around. It's just like everybody wants to give up. There's no hope. There's no faith. I don't believe anymore. Where are you, God? So I just want to encourage you is to just stay in faith. Stay in faith no matter what you're going through. Hold on to God's unchanging hand because his hand's never too short to save you. He can save you for whatever you may be going through. I just want to encourage you to hold on. Hold on. Keep the faith. He's the God of the universe. I know you guys are calling on the universe, but he is the God of the universe. So call on Jesus, and I promise you, he'll be right there for you. Because the only reason you're calling on the universe is because you're angry at God. He said that to me the other day. He said, they're angry at me. That's why they're calling on universe instead of me, which is the God of the universe. So don't hold any anger in your heart against God. Job did not sin against God. He didn't get angry against him. So I encourage you to not be angry. Don't be hurt. Don't be bitter against God. Just keep trusting him and keep faith. Keep the faith. He comes to serve you. He died just for you. That's what I'll leave with. He died for you and I. Even if you're still in something, you may be a homosexual and you're still in it. He died for you. You may be a lesbian and you're still in it. He died for you. He died for you. Amen. Thank you, Prophetess Tish.
That's the name of it. He died for me.
Ah, that's good. He died for
Just for me. Ah, okay,
We're
gonna figure it out, y'all. We're gonna come with it. Stay tuned.
Yes.
Stay tuned for the book collaboration. We're gonna collaborate.
It's gonna change your life.
I truly thank you for coming by. I truly
You're so
do.
welcome.
Listen,
Anytime.
everyone, as you heard her say earlier, to check her out on Facebook. She's on Instagram. Look her up. Heart for You Cleaning. Please. And if you want to get in touch with her, you can email her as well. heartforyoucleaningservices@gmail. If you're in her area, come on. If you just need peace and you decide that, you know what, and even if she's not in your area, right? Look into that. Or so sometimes it's okay to say, you know what, I just need peace of mind and I need to release a stress off. Don't get yourself in debt by doing it. But if you can afford it, do look into it. That is a good way to actually release a load and do some self-care by allowing yourself to release certain stresses off of you. So I thank you so much for coming out and talking. I appreciate you. You are welcome back anytime, especially once our new show launch, and I'll talk to you later offline about that. So we're going to get ready to close out the show. And as we was talking earlier, I know that y'all heard us mention a couple times a conference that we was talking about, and that conference is the Prisoner of War in the Mind Conference with our special guest speaker, Prophetess Sophia Ruffin. I have co-visionaries alongside of me, Minister Sophia Kenyon. I have co-visionary Coach Shireen Reeves. Dropped the bomb off dead. Listen, she's one that comes and help us get free in our mind financially. So Prisoner of War in the Mind Conference, June 2nd to June 4th in Atlanta, Georgia. We have several other speakers as well, such as Prophetess Vicky Bales Harden. We got Apostle Deborah Allen, who you heard us mentioning here earlier. We got Apostle Dr. Glenn Allen Sr. We got Bishop Sean Lewis, Minister Gregory Hadnot, Apostle Dr. Jackie Hadnot, Miss Sulan Hilton. Also, our prayer ministry team, we have Apostle Mike Ebron, and also we have Evangelist. I keep calling her prophetess. That's just what I be feeling, y'all. I'm sorry. But Evangelist Mikia Hardison. So if you want to get your tickets and you want to come out to, we will be glad to have you. The tickets are available on Eventbrite. The tickets are available on Eventbrite. So you can get your tickets today for the Prisoner War in the Mind conference at Eventbrite for the POW in the Mind .eventbrite.com. Another way that you're able to do it, if you want to do payment plans, hey y'all, we're doing this thing on layaway. You ever heard of a layaway for a conference? Listen, we got you. So if you want to put your tickets on layaway, you want to reserve your spot and say, you know what, I need to split my payments up. So we move the regular admission down to $250, right? So you'll pay a $50 deposit to reserve your seat, whether you want it's $50 whether you want to reserve a VIP or whether you want to reserve a regular admission. $50 deposit. With that, you will, in 30 days after that, you'll pay $100 for, say, regular admission, and then 30 days later, you'll pay another $100. So you split your payment up into 3 payments, and you're still able to come in and, hey, be able to rock with us at the Prisoner War. So if you are interested in doing a layaway plan, just email me and just say, hey, can you shoot me an invoice for a regular admission or a VIP admission ticket at ferventlycreations@gmail.com. ferventlycreations@gmail.com. Another way that you're also able to do that, you can also go to my website. Same one if you want to come be a guest on the show. But for more information for the conference, another way that you can also go and look and do your donation, or not your donate, if you want to do donations as well, we accept those. But if you want to do a payment plan, or if you want to pay through PayPal instead of Eventbrite, you're also able to go through ferventlycreations.com, reserve your ticket that way. And if you want to be a guest on the show, please do not hesitate. Go to www.ferventlycreations.com. Go on the tab where it says become a guest on the show and get ready to then you can fill out the information and we'll be glad to have you on the show. So with that being said, listen, remember, as we always say once we end the show, networking is not about just connecting people. It's about connecting people with ideas, like how we just came up with a book collaboration, and people with opportunities, right? So make sure that once we bring people on the show, go back, look at their social media handles, email them, check their websites out, see how you can donate to them if they have a way for you to donate to be part of their ministry, or if there's some way where you can connect and maybe they have something that you want to collaborate with them with, or something that you just want to network and connect. So, hey, let's network with each other. Kingdom ministry, kingdom business. Let's be about the kingdom, make kingdom connections. So thank you so much for coming out. And that is all. We'll see you next time.